Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is John, or Last Frontier Bricks, and this is my review of the LEGO Star Wars 2025 Jango Fett Starship. It is set number 75433, comes with 707 pieces plus 3 minifigures, and retails at $70. Although, full disclosure, I didn't actually have to pay for that $70. Right now at Walmart, which just so happens where I work, they actually have it on rollback for $60. Plus, on top of that, a 10% discount for me being a Walmart employee. I think in total I paid about $57 counting tax. So yeah, full disclosure, didn't pay full price for this, just thought I'd let you know. Just take a look at the box art. Oh man, this thing looks fantastic with the ship on and its full glory. With that Clone Wars style box art with the 32nd Trooper in the bottom right corner. You see the ship flying in the Geonosis asteroid field, firing off both its main laser cannons, plus the nice inclusion of the seismic charge right there above the minifigures of Jango Fett, young Boba Fett, and the very first llama suit, looking absolutely fantastic. All three of them, actually. On the top of the box, you get a 1:1 scale image of that llama suit figure. And taking a look in the back box art, you can see it landed in incognito, showing off a bunch of play features, like how to load and drop the seismic charge, as well as the little maintenance speeder, which doubles as a display stand, which is really, really cool. Very much a nod to the $50 Boba Fett Starship set from Mandalorian Season 2. This box does have the push tab, so you do have to damage the box in order to open it, at least in the way LEGO intends for you to open it. Alright, let's take a look what all we got in here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total bags. One sticker sheet with only 5 stickers, which is really nice. Most considering since most of the details will only be brick build, and then you have your regular semi CG render of the set. You do have an ad for paper bags in this set without them, as per usual. Then we just jump straight into the build. Taking a look in the back, you can see a lineup of most of the 2025 sets, including this set. You got the MTT K2S, all of the Clone Trooper and Super Battle Droid Battle Pack, the buildable B1 Battle Droid with Staff, the V19 Torrent, the Force Burner Snow Speeder from Rebuild the Galaxy Pieces of the Past, the buildable Wicket, and the Clone Turbo Tank. And then we also have a total of 3 pages of parts for our parts list. This should be a pretty awesome build. We'll go ahead and jump into a time lapse of that build, starting right now. Alright, the build is done. It took a good couple of hours to take care of, but considering it was just a hair over 700 pieces, I mean, how many of you guys would be surprised about that? We'll go ahead and start off as I usually do with the minifigures in the order they appear, starting off with the young Boba Fett. I've actually heard some people kind of trash talk this figure, which I really don't understand why. It's a pretty good representation. You got yourself a nice unique hairpiece. I mean, that might be partly why, because it's supposed to be a bit more clean cut. But otherwise, the skin tone looks really good. You got a double-sided face, one with a bit of a smirk and one with a much less friendly looking look. Which, but be honest, both of those seem to fit the young Boba pretty well. As does the coloring on his suit, where it's like part light gray, and then you got the arms are a bit darker, and then you got just a little bit of a belt going around on the front and back of the torso, and then of course he's got the kid legs. So all in all, that's a pretty solid young Boba Fett. Next up, we've got Jango Fett, looking absolutely fantastic. That helmet mode looks really, really solid, as does the printing on it. Of course, you got the brand new visor that first appeared in the $300 UCS Jango Fett Slave 1, but that looks really good as well. You look underneath the helmet, you've got a nice looking Jango Fett face with a couple scars going on, and a nice 5 o'clock shadow. And then taking a look at the back, you've got an angry looking face, and you look at the jetpack in gunmetal gray. This does not have the arm printing that the UCS Jango Fett has, so technically this figure does remain, that figure does remain exclusive to the UCS Slave 1, but the torso printing, both on the front and back, looks really nice with that metallic printing, and the leg printing as well, with plenty of metallic printing. You can see the knee rocket launchers. They even printed on the feet, so which is really nice. And then he's got his usual pair of blasters, and he does have an accessory of a hairpiece that you can put on him as well if you don't want him in the helmet. Although, to be honest, why you wouldn't want a Mandalorian in full Mandalorian gear is beyond me. So it's a nice addition for the hair, but I don't see a lot of people using it. And then you got one more figure, which honestly might be the highlight figure for this set, and that is Administrator Lama Su. Well, you got a unique headpiece for him, quite a bit different from the Tom Wee that we got in the $30 Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. Fighter. You got that Mohawk style crest on the head, as well as the collar on almost his business suit. And the suit, the torso printing looks really nice. You got some metallic printing going on there. And the nice thing is that the purple goes all the way from the torso down to the skirt piece, and it looks basically flawless. It's a transition, and you got some nice printing on the back as well. So 3 pretty solid figures for this set. Taking a look at the Slave 1 itself, looks absolutely gorgeous in that green, yellow, and dark blue coloring. Very similar to the $50 Boba Fett Slave 1 that we got for Mandalorian Season 2, around the same scale. Again, colorings and shaping all look really, really nice, as you can see. The wings move together, or if you spin the ship around, that's due to some techniques holes underneath. If you got a lot of interesting built in this schemes going on here, from getting these struts that come up from the ship out onto the wings, to how you get the long section of the ship out. You can basically hold this thing from anywhere. Although I wouldn't really suggest holding it from here, or as the connection is strong enough, but it's not really to hold it in place. But it's not really meant to be held there. But fortunately, Lego took a little bit of a cue from the 20th anniversary Boba Fett Slave 1, and built in a little handle which just pulls right out, and then you can just carry it around with your fingers. As you take a look at the back, you can see all the you can see the engines and some extra detail going on there. You've got the rapid fire laser cannons right below the cockpit, and then you've got your main laser cannons down at the bottom, which are 2 pairs of stud launchers. Unfortunately, unlike in the movie, they don't rotate; they're static. Well, but you can just kind of actually, you can't really actually do the ship the stud launchers. So that's a little that's a little disappointing. I thought you might be able to swap them around and to just detach them and then put them back. If you want to recreate that scene where Boba uses these cannons to fire on Obi-Wan while the ship is still landed. You do have a little bit of sticker detail, but fortunately, it's not too much. The main sticker is the one right here on the white. I think I got that just a little off. Taking a look, but the two up here in the like the greenish coloring, and then the two in the blue. Ooh, so again, only 5 stickers for this set, which is really nice. And then you notice that they provide you with a couple of seismic charges, and the way you load that in is actually really interesting. Basically, what you do is you open up where the the loading ramp close that up, and then there's a secret little back hatch here, which is actually held on pretty tightly, to be honest. I think it's actually maybe a bit too tight, to be honest. I've only been able to get it open once, but once you can get it open, actually more like once I remember where it opens up, all I'm doing is taking pieces off it. So yeah, this might have been a little bit of a design flaw, that they didn't make an easy way to open the thing. But it's supposed to be able to just... There we go. There we go. Oh, that's where it opens up. So let's see if I can get to where I can put the thing in and actually launch the thing. There we go. Piece popped. A piece popped. Oops. Well, but you are kind of able to, launch the seismic charges. So again, maybe a little difficult to launch the thing, but it is nice in that Lego decided to add that function into it, even though technically where it is supposed to launch is closer to where the engine is, but that again, that's where the carrying handle is. So fair enough. And then you also have the opening cockpit, and that's interesting on how you're able to get both Jango and Boba in there. Because first off, you put Boba in the back, and he's just kind of sitting there, like there's no studs. Excuse me, holding him in place. And I haven't tried getting Jango in there with his blasters, but he doesn't really need them. And then you just set Jango there on those 4 studs, and then you can close up the cockpit, which actually closes up pretty tightly, to be honest. And then there you go, both of them are in there, even though technically they're not in there canonically. And then you've got a little side the maintenance RTNG you can have for Llama Su. It's a pretty simple build, pretty thin. You got a couple of inverted tiles underneath to not only help hold it together, but give it the impression that it's hovering. And then you got a little crate in the air, which the instructions don't have you put anything in there, but I'm sure it can hold a couple of the extra tiles for the stunt launchers. But the main function of this thing isn't just as a maintenance card. It acts as a display stand. Basically, what you do is you grab onto the back, and then it just lifts up, and then you can take the Slave 1 and then line it up. And line it up with the back of the ship. And there you go. Your maintenance cart is now a nice display stand. So if you want to display the Slave 1 in flight, you can do that. So that's basically all that's and there is with the ship. Again, I feel like the launcher for the seismic charges could have been done a bit better. But it's a nice, it's a small little build for the Slave 1, which, let's face it, we've been wanting a play scale Slave 1 for Jango Fett's Slave 1 for quite a while now. It's almost it's kind of disappointing that it took nearly 20 years actually a little more than 20 years in order to get one. But speaking of which, I do have probably the most obvious set to compare it to, and that is the Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter with Obi-Wan R4P7E and Taun We. Taking a look at the size of the ships, strangely enough, yeah, taking a look lengthwise, strangely enough, the $30 Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter is a bit longer than Slave One, which, to be honest, I remember that being the other way around, where the Slave One was a good deal. No, it was supposed to be, a good deal bigger than the Jedi Starfighter. So yeah, I was expecting it to be the exact opposite, but still, it's crazy that for the first time since the release of the initial uh, Attack of the Clones set, it's these two ships, these two sets right here, they're on store shelves at the same time right now. And right now, the Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter, that doesn't seem to be retiring this year. So this could stick around. So this combination could stick around for a good year or so. And to be honest, considering the scale they did these ships in, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe next year we see these two ships together in like a 2-in-1 pack for like $100. I mean, maybe a little less because the two sets combined are $100. The Slave One being 70 and the Jedi Starfighter being 30. But again, I won't be too surprised if we see this in like a 2-pack later on. So, oh no, it's a pretty decent Slave One. I think it might be a bit smaller than what people were hoping for, but again, it's a solid ship with some good play features, good figures, and on top of that, even the price per piece guys would be happy with it, since it is right there at that 10 cents per piece mark. So all in all, it's a pretty solid ship. I see no reason why not to pick this up, especially if you just love the Slave One and really are really wanting, to get a hold of the Jango Fett's Slave One. I mean, if you're gonna get the $300 Slave One on, I mean, maybe there might be a reason not to get this unless you want that Lama Su. But if you can't afford $300 for UCS set, this is a perfect fine alternative. So seriously, guys, if you want it, go get it. It's good. So that'll be the end of this review. Thank you for joining me for it. If you guys enjoyed it, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Ring the bell to be notified of all videos as soon as they become available. Check out my channel and some more of my content, including all of my LEGO Star Wars set reviews on the end screen in just a few seconds. And I will see you all in the next video. Later, everybody.